So, should I read this news article?
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Sacramento Bee by Jay Downing at sacbee.com, published Thursday, August 20th at 12 a.m. Sacramento has been churning out Campbell's tomato soup for 62 years, and through all that time, the goal has remained the same: keep the iconic soup tasting the same way it has since 1897. Do you have any idea why this might be an issue? Well, because that just got a lot harder. In late July, the Campbell Soup Company began shipping a new formulation of its oldest and often best-selling brand with a 32% cut in sodium that brings it in line with federal health guidelines. In the processed food business, that's a huge risk. Salt is an effective and cheap flavor enhancer with no known substitute. Even a 10% cutback can drive a nosedive in the product's hedonic index, an industry measure of how much the eater enjoys it. The Camden, New Jersey-based company is getting the reduction by substituting low-sodium sea salts, a proprietary blend from an undisclosed location, as well as rejiggering other flavors, also secret. The company has tested the new formula on consumers in all 50 states and says most people don't miss the salt or like the revamped version even better. What do you think?
I think we should try it.
Yeah, well, okay, so we discovered that we had in our cabinet an old version of the soup, and here you see two soups that look suspiciously similar, and another one that I'll talk about in a second. And when I pick this one up, I look at the sodium content, and it says 710 milligrams.
Per serving?
Per serving, 30% of your daily recommended total. And this one, we look at the sodium, and it's 480 milligrams. Only 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and yet they look like the same can of soup. So I think what we have here is a case where we have an old classic formula, and we have here, looking exactly the same, the new blend. Now, one of the interesting things that this article points out is, here's this other kind of Campbell's tomato soup. God, I love tomato soup. It's one of my favorites. 25% less sodium than what? This is 25% less sodium than the original. And guess how much sodium it has? Even though it's 25% less sodium than the original, it contains, let's see if we can find it here, 530 milligrams of sodium.
So it's more than the new.
In fact, the new Campbell's soup, which is going to replace both of these soups, has less sodium than the 25% less sodium that it's replacing. This is going to disappear. Wow. Let's try these two. Let's see if we can tell the difference at all between them.
Well, should we just open it up and scoop it out and eat it? Or are we going to cook it?
I think we should cook it. I don't know. I mean, do you think we should use the can of water technique or the can of milk technique?
Milk.
Yeah, I think it's much better that way. Want to make soup, Paula?
Okay.
Okay, let's go make soup. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right. Thank you, Paula. Let's get 2 of these for each of us. Okay, so I've got the original Campbell's tomato soup on this side, and on this side I have the new recipe. Do you notice any differences, just visually?
It seems like this one is more of a warmer red.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, the new recipe is definitely a redder look.
But not too much different.
No, it's not too much different. They're really, really, really close.
And this is more orange.
Yeah, it's more of an orange, so it's less of a tomatoey look actually with the old one. So maybe this is a minor aesthetic improvement on the new soup. I wonder how they passed the taste test.
Oh, we'll have to see. Are we supposed to swish it around and spit it out?
Let's not tonight. A minor amount of contamination here, but not too bad. On our left, we have the new soup.
trying first?
Let's go down memory lane first, I think. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to think this will probably be the last time we ever taste this, because I was all over the cupboard. I could not find another can of the classic flavor. It's just not there. This might be the very last can. Savor it.
Okay, sure. Are we moving on to the next one, or?
Yeah, let's try the new one now.
I like salt, so hopefully this will be adequate for me.
No, it's different. It is really different.
It is really different.
It's good.
But it's complex.
Yeah, it's complex. It's a little
This
bit.
is more sweet.
Yeah, this is a little bit. Has a little bit more acidic highlight to it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of that tomato-ish flavor, if you will.
Yeah.
Whereas the old one, actually, now I'm realizing sort of hit a little bit of the tomato flavor, huh?
Yeah, and
delicious,
really sweet, like sugary almost.
Yeah. They're both good. So a further inspection of the cans.
And that satisfies my salt quota.
You think it works for you, huh?
Yeah, I think because there's some kind of flavor in there that balances it so that it's and it tastes, to me, it tastes better than the kind that was the low sodium.
I know we should be able to compare them side by side, but we just didn't think we could both eat that much soup, did we?
No. So we might have to continue this.
I think I know what the balancing flavor is because I paid a little bit more attention to the cans. Guess what? The sea salt that Campbell's is using is high in potassium, whereas the old Campbell's soup didn't list potassium at all in its daily recommended values. This has a ton of potassium in it, and as you know, potassium is sodium's chemical neighbor, just a little bit heavier on the periodic chart. So I think that's where the balance is coming from. They may have met the federal guidelines for what constitutes a healthy soup, but in fact, I think they did so by really putting salt substitute, potassium chloride in it. I think at the end of the day, that's what we're tasting here.
Well, I think I like them both, but I think I like the new one better because it's more complex.
I think I like the classic better. I'm kind of sorry to see it go. I kind of like the creamier, sort of warmer flavor of the old one. Now, that's not to say that I don't like this very much. My life is not going to change a whole lot as a result of this change, is it? I think I'll be okay. And in some ways, I agree. It's better. It's certainly more of a tomato soup.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more of a.
It's bolder.
I'm just going to miss the classic industrial flavor of a 19th century tomato soup. Good stuff. Cheers.
So good night from Lakeside. Saturday night, early October.
Eastern San Diego County during the Depression on Soup